The Talento Loadcell pedals, the newest sim racing product from IMSIM, the same folks that have built their reputation as one of the top motion simulation makers. Now, all of that sounds great. I know what you're thinking, these pedals look like any other pedal that's out there on the market. While it's true, but looks can be very deceiving because the folks at IMSIM started from scratch on these pedals and they wanted to make sure they created a set of pedals that use the highest quality material, equipment, and electronics to make sure that the user can sit there and customize these pedals the way they want to and adapt the pedals to their style and not the other way around. IMSIM's parent company, SIRMAF, have been in the automotive, machinery, and robotics industry for over 30 years. If you remember from my previous video, they also manufacture components for the Haas F1 team. They leveraged their massive knowledge to produce not only their famous motion simulator, but also their new Loadcell pedals. There was some really serious engineering that went into them. I had a chance to try out the pedals last year's Sim Expo. While they weren't quite ready then, I already had high expectations. They took all the feedback from simracers, good and bad, to enhance their design and to give us a much superior product from what they showcased a year ago. Let's take a look at how the full kit looks. You'll receive the throttle, brake, and clutch pedals, the brake performance kit with guards and extra Delistometers, and the pedal plate with the heel rest. You can order each option separately on its own, so you only get what you need. If you saw my unboxing video, the first box comes with a throttle and brake kit with 2 sets of Delistometers. That can give you 100 kilograms of braking pressure, an extra brake pedal plate, and adjustment tools. The second box is the clutch. Then the third box is the pedal plate with the heel rest. And last is a brake performance kit that gives you 9 extra Delistometers and the brake and throttle protection plates. Let's take a look at the most important piece of the set, the brake pedal. The plates that go into making the pedals are made of thick stainless steel metal. All the bolts are Loctite bolts tuned to a specific torque. During testing, they put the pedals through 2 million cycles over 23 days with over 200 kilograms of pressure, and they still look like new. If you go with the brake performance kit, you can achieve over 160 kilograms of pressure. The pedals are highly adjustable. You can adjust the angle with the slots at the back, the preload using the dial below the pedal arm, and even the brake curve through the pedal software. The Loadcell sensor is controlled by a 16-bit Leo Bodner board that both the throttle and the clutch pedal connect to, and that is tucked away to keep safe from the elements. You get 2 face plates, the standard one, which is a flat face that is great for sock drivers, and another plate with drilled holes for the shoe-wearing drivers. Let's talk about the Delistometers, because these are probably one of the most important parts of your pedal, whether they're Loadcell or hydraulic, because these Delistometers are going to simulate the brake resistance that's going to go onto your pedals when you squeeze your foot on it. Now, each Delistometer has a different spec, and if you exceed those specs, you're going to get some very weird readings on your brake sensor when you're actually sitting there driving in the car, which can slow you down. Let me explain more. So the more force you place trying to squeeze on the Delistometer, the more counterforce there is that's trying to return them to their normal shape. When you release the force you're placing on the Delistometer, the counterforce, if it's greater than the tolerance of the Delistometer, is actually going to stretch further back and it's going to cause a rubber band effect, which could cause a false brake reading on the Loadcell sensor. In turn, the sim's going to start thinking you applied the brake when your foot's not actually on the pedal, resulting in a much slower lap time when you're driving.
So IMSIM was smart about this, so they designed these metal machined heads to make sure that the Delistometers themselves don't go past their threshold. So when you sit there and hear it and you squeeze it, I don't know if you can see the outline, but right here, that's where the threshold of this Delistometer is at. So when you're squeezing the pedal, it hits the metal part and it doesn't let your foot go past that threshold.
The brake works great with just the standard Delistometer set, but if you want to take it to the next level, the brake performance kit is a must, and there are many different combinations you can do. To set the pedals exactly the way you want them, from long and soft to short and stiff, me personally, I have mine set with 2-stage braking to really take advantage of trail braking and nail it every single time. The throttle pedal uses the same metal plates and same angle adjustment as the brakes. It uses a potentiometer for the readings, but before you go crazy because of that, this potentiometer isn't the same thing you find in a Logitech pedal. They use automotive grade position sensors, the same ones that you find in high-end sports cars. You also have a preload system with 3 different settings, a torsion spring, and 5 different positions to adjust the pedal strength. And also, you can adjust the pedal throw length too. Looking at the clutch, it's very similar in design to the throttle pedal. In terms of adjustment and electronics, you can adjust the throw, the strength, and you got the 3 different preload settings for it. But they're very cleverly engineered in a way that you can simulate the actual bite point feeling of a real car clutch engaging, which is a very good surprise and very good engineering on the side of IMSIM. These pedals can be mounted in any way you want, either normally or inverted. The board has a connection point on each side of the brake pedal that will detect the throttle pedal and the clutch in whichever port you plug them into. My favorite part is the throttle protector plates. You have one that goes on the back of the throttle to stop your foot from going off to the side, allowing you to move your foot without losing control. And then there's the brake plate that stops your foot from going underneath the brake pedal. This is something I never knew I needed, and it really helps when you're in those long races and you need to move your foot around so you can relax better. The IMSIM software is very easy to use, and with it you can create custom profiles for different cars, sim racing conditions, depending if the track is hot, cold, or even wet, by using all these adjustment sliders. With it you can sit there and tailor the way you want your clutch, throttle, and brake to feel, whichever way you want to. So I guess the biggest question that's out there is, are these pedals one of the best pedals that are out there on the market? And I can say without a doubt, yes. When I put them on my rig, I felt in total control and comfortable right away. And our biggest test came when the Simpit participated in 24 hours of Le Mans, and me having to do 8 hours of racing, the pedals and I were put to the test. And the end result, we placed in 2nd place, and not once during my driving did I lock up the brakes, and I nailed my trail braking and threshold braking every single time. So it was really hard for me to find anything wrong with these pedals, and if I have to be nitpicky with them, I would say the pedal plate probably needs to be a little bit wider. They went with the Fanatec width of the pedal plates. For me, the clutch pedal and the gas pedal are a little too close to each other, so I wish there was a little bit more separation between them to give a little bit more distance, especially since I'm a left foot braker, and it really puts a strain on my knee. So other than that, that's my only nitpick, and you can really get around it by just mounting them straight to your rig too, right onto the pedal plate. So that's really my only minus on these pedals. The folks at IMSIM use their 30 years of knowledge to build these beautiful pedals with high-end electronics, metal parts with zero compromise. Each port was torqued to a specific measurement with Loctite bolts to take the quality to the next level. And I asked Tiago, is this just the beginning of sim racing products from IMSIM? And all he did was smile and say, we'll see. So personally, I can't wait to see more from them. So if you like this video or have any questions or comments, please let us know below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Later.